Disasters can happen at any time. If an event forced you to evacuate your home with only a few minutes to get out the door, would you know what to grab to put into your vehicle? At the time of this recording, multiple places here in Southern California, like Los Angeles, San Diego, and Ventura, are getting hit hard with fires forcing many individuals to evacuate. Even recently, we had a fire spring up just 5 miles from our home, which has fortunately been contained. While my plan A is to shelter in place during a catastrophe, you may not have that choice and be required to bug out. Could you evacuate your home within 10 minutes with everything you would need to survive? In this video, we'll discuss the following: creating a checklist, water, food, miscellaneous items, mobility, security, a power source, being on the ready, pets, and what to do when leaving your home. If at any time during this video you want to download the checklist we go over in this video, you can click on the link in the description section below, which has all the show notes and links to the downloadable files I'll discuss. Before we get into the details of this video, let me stress that ultimately the key in a situation like this is to keep as calm as possible and to think clearly. By following the steps I detail in this video, you'll be in an excellent position. Also remember, you can replace stuff at any time, but keeping you and your family alive is your top priority. So let's start with discussing what you'll want in your checklist. You can obviously change the checklist to match your specific requirements, but think of this as a framework. So the first item in your checklist is documents. Now, the items I'll list here are things you can put in a folder or even scan and put onto a USB thumb drive or even upload to cloud storage like Google Drive or Dropbox. Just be sure to encrypt the files before storing them in the cloud in the event they fall into the wrong hands. Here are the items you'll want to have prepared: the deed to your house, insurance documents like home, vehicle, and life insurance, vehicle titles, marriage certificate, a list of personal contacts printed on paper both locally and out of state. Now, you'll also want to have family identification information. You want to have current photos of each family member, and while discussing photos, make sure any sentimental photos are scanned and backed up as well. Fingerprints from each family member, birth certificates, passports, medical records, social security cards, and veterinarian records for your animals you take with you. If you have children, make sure they have a printed list of phone numbers to call with the names of individuals and family members both in and out of state they can call in the event you get split up. It's a good idea to put critical information on a piece of paper you laminate or put in a Ziploc bag for them. Also, things like a notebook or an iPad, books, games, small toys, coloring books, paper pens, snacks, sweets, different things that you want to have on hand to keep them occupied. Here are additional items you'll want to have ready and also on a checklist of things to grab, and probably a good idea as well to document where you can typically keep these items: your driver's license along with your wallet, firearms, food, water, bug out bags, backup power source, phone chargers, medications, and a medical handbook. Personally, I keep a copy of the Survival Medicine Handbook, which I'll provide a link to in the description section below. The next big item is water. For water, you'll want to take 1 gallon per person per day. Ideally, you can at least have 3 days worth of water at a minimum. Obviously, this can add up quickly for a family of 4, but if you get stranded, it'll be good to have this on the ready. I personally store water in 5-gallon containers in my hallway closet next to our garage, so I can grab them in the event we have to head out. Food. For food, I like having freeze-dried food on hand. It's easy to store and only needs hot water to prepare it. Some people prefer MREs to have ready for emergencies. Honestly, it doesn't have to be anything fancy, but instead, just something that is easy to prepare, store, and transport. It's also nice to have comfort foods, especially if you have children. Regarding miscellaneous items, I keep a box with camping gear on the ready in my garage. Inside that box, I keep a stove, some small propane tanks, utensils, plates, cups, and a small tent. You might want to consider other pieces of gear to bring along as you have the room in your vehicle. Having storage bins in your garage that you can quickly grab with the items will be very important to have already set up and organized. Now, you'll want to make sure you have a go bag, aka bug out bag, for each family member. My primary plan of bugging out involves traveling in my vehicle, but in the event we're forced to walk, having these bags ready will be critical. Bug out bags simply contain essential items you'll need for survival. I'll walk you through very quickly some of the highlights of what you'll want in your bug out bag at a minimum. There's so many ways you can set these up, and I'll provide a few links if you'd like to check out my particular setup for me and also for my family. Again, the goal of these bags is to have a simple way to have items for survival on the ready to grab and walk out your door. The first item is water storage. I have a couple of bladders in my bag. You'll want food, first aid kit, matches or lighter, small stove, eating and cooking utensils, rain gear, work gloves, dust mask, duct tape, paracord, a whistle, hand crank radio, water filter, soap, toiletries like toilet paper, toothbrush, toothpaste, feminine hygiene products, a change of clothes and socks, a multi-tool, a tarp, a map, walkie-talkies, and a firearm. Now next to my bag, I keep clothes, boots, and sleeping bags and blankets also on the ready. Should I have to grab my bag, I can also grab these items as well. The next item is security. It's up to you what you want to grab. Having your firearms along with ammunition on the ready to toss into a case and then into your vehicle will be a smart idea. Depending on the level of the disaster, security for you and your family during a time of chaos may be a reality you'll have to face. Remember that your state laws are still in effect in regards to how you travel with your firearm. Power source. Having a way to power your electronics like phones or other electrical devices will be important. There's a lot of small-scale solar and hand crank generators currently on the market, which are great for on-demand power. I personally took things a big step forward and picked up a Kodiak solar generator, which is lightweight and portable, providing me with a lot of power as long as I have the sun. I'll post a link in the description section if you'd like to learn more about my setup, and you can also click on the link in the cards that will show here. Being on the ready. The first thing you'll always want to make sure is your car is ready, even in times where there's not an evacuation in place. I personally never let my car's gas tanks go below 1/2 full. If an evacuation seems likely, you'll want to make sure that you fill up your tanks as soon as possible. Gas stations may be closed during emergencies and unable to pump gas during power outages. Make sure you also have a portable emergency kit in the car. Many of the items that we discuss in this video should be in a place where you can quickly grab them and go. If after watching this video you realize you've got stuff spaced out all over your home, now might be a good time to organize these items near or in your garage so you can quickly grab them and go. Regarding pets, animals can sense tension and can easily be affected by disaster in a number of ways. Keep in mind when pets are properly evacuated, the stress levels decrease. You want to make sure they're also microchipped and have ID collars. It's a good idea to create 72-hour pet grab-and-go kits that include leashes, medications, meal bowls, and at least 3 days worth of food. Having a properly sized kennel will also be helpful to have. It's not a bad idea to keep a list of phone numbers to animal hospitals in your area. Also, having proof of animal ownership is critical if your animal is not chipped or has no identification. So, what should you do when leaving your home? First, you'll want to call or email the out-of-state contact family members your communications plan. Tell them where you're going. Next, you'll want to secure your home by closing and locking doors and windows. Unplug electrical equipment such as radios, televisions, and small appliances. Leave freezers and refrigerators plugged in unless there's a risk of flooding. Be sure also to know where your utility shutoffs are. You'll want to learn how to safely shut off your water, gas, and electricity if you're required to do so. While there's a lot that was covered in this video, having a plan in place and knowing what to do if you're forced out of your home during a time of crisis, you'll be in a much better position to be able to protect you, your family, and valuable assets. Remember, if you fail to prepare, you're preparing to fail. Leave no room for complacency, as your best form of action is to stay prepared and ready. Again, I'll post a link in the description section below if you'd like to download the checklist of items discussed in this video. If you enjoyed this video, please consider clicking the like button, sharing on social media, or subscribing. And if you'd like to support this channel, please click on my Amazon affiliate link in the description section below. As always, be safe out there.